Hey everybody, Koricon here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Maono wireless headset microphone. Maono had sent me the Lavalier mics that you had seen me review, and I really liked those. And they wanted to send me this wireless headphone. Now, I'm not sponsored by them, but they did send this to me for free so that I could review it. And let's unbox it. Let's take a look and see what's inside before we test it. So it says it's a 2.4G wireless headphone. Now the first thing we notice is the box. And the same thing with the Lavalier mics. It's a nice heavy-duty cardboard box that you could use for your storage of the microphone. Like, you don't need a bag, you don't need a carrying case, because it keeps it all together in a nice hard cardboard that you know is not going to damage the microphone if you have it in a bag or something like that. So if we look on the inside, they've got a nice foam piece that's going to hold all of the stuff together. So even if you do have it in a bag and it's moving around, this is not going to move around. This looks like it's the earpiece. And that little hook right there is going to go into this so that you can put it on your head like so. It goes right over the ears, and you have this right here. You also have some buttons on the top and the side here. Looks like on the side we have, for you to be able to charge it up, the on and off switch. And up at the top you have a volume control, positive, negative, and it looks like a mute button. This is going to be your receiver. You can see you've got a 3.5 millimeter headphone kind of jack, your port for USB port for charging it, and your on and off switch. So if we take the foam off, and we have a nice little cardboard compartment to hold everything else in there. And it looks like we've got another foam cover for the microphone, a spare one. We got a XLR cable, 3.5 to 6.35 connector, but it splits it off so you can plug in headphones and a microphone jack if someone is monitoring the audio. Your USB cable for charging both at the same time, so you're not having to charge one at a time. That's nice, I like that. And your 3.5 to 3.5 cable. Now if you're plugging into a cell phone for the audio, you can probably use this, but I would suggest using this. Most cell phones need a 6.35 connector for having a microphone connection, and you can see why. If you look at this, it's got just two lines on it, so it's got 3 points of connection. But with the 6.35 you have 3 lines on it, which means you have 4 points of connection. Most cell phones, or a lot of cell phones, you need that 4 point of connection for it to be able to use a microphone instead of headphone jacks. A regular headphone jack would only need 3 points. So you need the 4 points so that you can use it as a microphone. So right now you're hearing me on my Blue Yeti microphone that I use at my computer. And now you're hearing me on the Maono wireless headset that I am recording from my phone. And you can see I've got the 6.3 jack in there right now. And this is the comparison between the wireless headset and the Yeti. Wireless headset. Yeti. Wireless headset. Yeti. Okay, so let's take this out into the real world and we will see how this does. I want to do a few tests on it. And it says that the range is about 49.2 feet or 15 meters. And so we may test that as well so you can see how far away it would be. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'm going to test the range on this, and to give you a baseline, I am recording on my Canon Rebel T6i with the Rogue Go Mic microphone. You can see it there. Now, all microphones need to be within about 3 feet. So the farther you get away, the harder it is to hear what the person is saying, even if you stay at the same volume. That's why something like this would come in useful if you need to film from farther away. So let's test the range. Okay, real quickly, I'm just filming this on my cell phone. You can see I've got the Maono plugged into the T6i. But I wanted to point out, so it comes with a strap, which makes it to where I can just hang it on the tripod like that. But it would be nice if it had a regular 1/4 inch mount so that I could screw it onto the top like I do one of these. So maybe Maono, in the future you could just add an extra little layer at the bottom that would allow us to connect, you know, any kind of 1/4 inch mounts so that we could put it on the top of cameras and stuff. Just something I noticed while I was setting up my distance. So I am now wearing the Maono wireless headset. You can hear the difference between this one and the Rode Mic Go on the camera at the same distance that I was just recording. And I had measured out 50 feet, which is exactly from where this camera is to the fence is about 50 feet 2 inches. Somewhere around there. It's almost exact. So I'm gonna go walk about halfway. We'll test the audio. I'll be talking the whole time. So here I am walking down, and I'm walking. This was about halfway. This is the 25-foot mark. You might be hearing some, I don't know, there's some trucks throwing some stuff around out front of the house. I don't know if that's coming up on the microphone, but that would be interesting if you hear any chains. I mean, it's pretty loud over there. So maybe it does, but if, oh, it's the trash guys. It's the trash trucks, and you can hear the machines dumping the trash. I'm not sure if that comes over the microphone, but that would be a good test, because if it does, I don't know, the range on it, that would just be an interesting thing, because they're probably 100 feet away doing the trash. Now it's over. Okay, so let's keep walking. And there's a car that just went by, because my backyard is right next to a road, and I'm getting close to 50 feet. I want to know if it cuts out. This would be exactly 50 feet. Yeah, I can still hear the trash guys over there. But I'm curious to see if it cuts out. It says its range is 49.2 feet, which this would be 50 feet, so it would be 8 inches longer. No. Yeah, about 8 to 10 inches. So if it cuts out, you'll see me doing this without any sound. I'm also curious that if it did cut out, if it reconnects as I'm coming closer to the camera. I don't know, but we'll find out when I start editing this. All right, let's go test it somewhere else. So I'm in a medium-sized conference room, and it has an echo. I wanted to know how it dealt with an echo. And also, this is kind of the area that you would be using a wireless mic with, because again, you need to be within 3 feet of any microphone when you want clean audio. So again, I am still recording on the Rode Go mic, so you get a baseline, keep everything consistent. And this is where I'll be standing when I wear the wireless. So you can see I'm a good probably 20-25 feet away from the camera. I'm at the front. There's going to be an echo because this room is pretty bare. And I was just curious how it would deal with an echo. So let's try it with the Maono wireless headset. Now I am wearing the Maono wireless headset at the same distance I was when I started this with the Rode Go microphone. And let's go over and see what it sounds like when I'm standing over here. And there is echo, so you can hear echo in the walls. I'm trying to keep my voice at the same volume that I am when I was close and when I was with the Rode. So you can get an idea of when you're talking and you're inspiring people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as you could see with our tests, it looked like the Maono wireless headset microphone did cut out a lot of the ambient noise and echo in that conference room, which I was surprised how much echo it cut out. It really just tries to record sound that's really close to the microphone and not anything else. Even when I was outside with that really loud trash truck going on and the car going by, it picked up a little bit of it, but nowhere near as much as when I was using my Rode Go microphone. So I gotta say, it's impressive. The one when you're turning it on, you're going to notice on, I just wanted to mention, there's a little blue light on here. So when you turn on the receiver, you see it's blinking. That means it hasn't connected to anything yet. Then when you turn this on, it'll sync up and then it'll stop blinking. Now, one thing I noticed, for the most part, that's pretty easy to see, especially like in here, this kind of light, normal light. But if you were outside, when I was outside doing that test, I could see the blue light, but I had to kind of do like this, and it was kind of hard to see whether or not it was blinking or if it was solid. So I would like a brighter LED on this, maybe something a little bit bigger. I mean, it doesn't need to be hidden. I know that for slick reasons, for aesthetics, they had it small. You can still see it, you just have to put your hand over it. But if you made the LED a little bigger and brighter so that you could see it outside, I don't think it would be a big deal. And I would like some kind of housing so I could put it on top of a DSLR camera. Whether it be just putting a 1/4 inch screw in the bottom or having a little mount that you could, slide in on the cold mount that this would clip onto or something like that. Anything, maybe an attachment of some kind, just to be able to hold it on top of the camera so I'm not hanging it. But it is nice that it has this little strap. You can put it around your wrist if you have a smaller wrist, not mine. My wrist is too big. And you can hang it on things. So I just hung it on the side of that tripod and it was perfectly fine. Now I charged this up. It takes about an hour to charge up the battery from being dead. And I've been using it all of these days, all day that I was doing this. I haven't recharged it yet, so it was running fine. And in the manual that it comes with, it says that the battery life is 8 hours for the receiver and 6 hours for the transmitter. So really, it's 6 hours. Even though the receiver still has power, if you don't have power to your transmitter, then there's no point. So you really have 6 hours of time, which is plenty of time. I mean, if you're doing a conference that's like 2 hours long, 3 hours long maybe, if you're going over 6 hours, hopefully there's a break in there for lunch or something where you could charge it up, because if you have even a half an hour, you could get it to another 3 hours out of it. So I think it's good. I like it. It's something I would use. I mean, it's got a specific use, which would be for, conferences or, talks with a lot of people, things like that. I would use it with the DSLR because it picked up a lot of good sound. But if I was just by myself and I was talking to the camera, or I wasn't moving around too much, I would just use the Maono Lavalier mic that I also had reviewed. You can watch that. I'll link in the description below if you want to check that out, and just have it connected to a cell phone in my pocket or something. But for a wireless setup, this is great, and I suggest it. I thought it was great for the price. I mean, it's only $39 That is really good for a microphone like this. Now I have it in my Amazon shop store if you want to check that out. Maono doesn't pay me anything for that, but Amazon set me up with a shop. So anything that you buy through my Amazon shop gives me some kind of percentage. Everything that I put in my Amazon shop is something that I've used, reviewed, or own, and so it's stuff that I suggest I think is good quality. So go ahead and check that out. That's also linked in the description below, and a link to buying this microphone if you wish to buy it. But all in all, I was impressed. I liked it. So thank you, Maono, for sending it to me for free. And again, this video was not sponsored, but I do thank you for the free product. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below with them and I'll answer them as much as I can. Otherwise, head over to Amazon. They have plenty of answers for any kind of questions that you may have. And if you have questions, I may even answer one of them. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.